Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Mental Health Recovery Blog. My name is Bill MacPhee, your host, and today is July the 3rd, 2015, Friday. And tomorrow is Independence Day, 4th of July for the USA people, for my American friends. And I just want to wish you a happy 4th of July and a good Independence Day. I know you'll be celebrating a lot with fireworks. We just had our Canada Day on the 1st of July, and we had fireworks where I live as well. Anyways, welcome to this blog, this recovery blog. And for those of you who don't know, my definition of recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who you are today. And that not only goes with people with a mental illness, but it goes for everybody in society. Well, here we are. I told you last week in our last pillar that we're going to move on into pillar number 3, family. So here we are. And basically, family, the goal in family is to create a sense of belonging, to create a sense of importance to everyone in the family. And should I say, I want to tell you that just because we're talking about family, family doesn't necessarily mean your blood relatives, the people who are directly biologically related to you. Family can be extended family, or in other words, anybody else who you would like to invite into your circle of friends and your circle of influence and your circle of relatives. Anybody can be your family. Now, this is very important to realize, and I mentioned in my last blog that we're talking about family, which is our third pillar. And what I want to tell you is that family is so very, very crucial in recovery. Um, my family was very, very instrumental in my recovery. They always I always had a place to stay, a bedroom in the house. My father, when my license was suspended, would drive me to group therapy in Niagara Falls. Um, my mom would be up all hours of the night with me, just being there, having a tea. Um, it was very, very time. I was 5 years on the couch, basically doing nothing, and it was very frustrating for everybody. I want to tell you that as family members who are dealing with somebody with a mental illness, and I don't need to tell you this, probably you've experienced with it, but it's very, very difficult. And I think what we need to realize is that even though the goal is to bring out the best in people, or I mean, to send that to create that sense of belonging that they're feeling, so that sense of belonging, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always with that person. Because what we are striving for, and I see this all the time, is to have your son or daughter or your brother and sister to have some kind of independence. Because you know what? I see it all the time. I see people who are 80 and 85 and 90 years old with a loved one with a mental illness who is living at home. And let's face it, we're all going to die. There's no doubt about that. And when you're elderly and you still have caring for an adult child or a brother or a sister, um, you're going to pass away one day and you don't know, and you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan A, a plan B, or plan C. And it's very important to realize that independence is so important. Now, I want to tell you, independence doesn't necessarily mean isolation or being alone. Not at all. Basically, isolation or basically independence means basically that your loved one with a mental illness can live and have uh, and be recovered or not want to be anybody else but who they are. They may be in a group home, they may be in their own apartment, they may be living with somebody, but the point is that we need to face up to the realities what families go through. So the goal is to create a sense of belonging. Now, I told you that people who did well with mental illness have a very supporting family. But I want to tell you that it can be really hard. And I don't want you to feel guilty. For some reason, if through circumstances your relative with a mental illness causes grief and heartache and trouble with the law and non-compliant with meds and all this kind of stuff, you do not have to live through that. It is up to the person with the mental illness to say, I want to improve the quality of my life. Every family member wants to improve quality of life for their mentally ill relative. However, that's not always going to be the case. So for some, I mean, one of the reasons we have so much homelessness in society, and it's not from a lack of parents trying to help their children or help their brothers and sisters. It's just that the person who we're trying to help is uncooperative, whether it be through lack of insight or whether it be stubbornness or whatever. And the bottom line is that if you have a son or daughter that is estranged from you, that's not living with you, or who's on the streets or in and out of jail or just not coping, you need to look out for yourself as well. So even though the goal in family is to create a sense of belonging, I'm not going to lay down a guilt trip and tell you just because your loved one is not living with you, or right part of your family, uh, that's okay, because this is a very devastating disease. It's a family disease, but in every single family, every single dynamic, every single certain situation, there are different family dynamics, and not every family is the same. So we're going to continue this next week on the third pillar, family, creating a sense of belonging. But I just wanted to set up the framework. So again, we're going to talk about a sense of belonging. But again, it's very important that for some reason, if there's estrangement in the family or things aren't going well and your loved one, you're at your wits end how to help them, don't feel guilty about that. It's just part of this family dynamic. So thank you, and remember that that there is life after mental illness. And just to let you know, our new Anchor magazine, our new edition is out, as well as our new SZ magazine is out. If you want to check those out, if you want to download the copy or get a subscription to it, just go over to www.mentalwellnesstoday.com. Have a great day.